right. Good afternoon, Mayor and members of the City Council, as well as community members. This is Jonathan Evans, City Manager, and we're in the Emergency Operations Center. We're providing an update with regards to what we are experiencing concerning the hurricane and what we've been tracking and some of the activities that have commenced since the onset of the activation of the EOC. At this time, I'm going to turn the presentation over to Fire Chief John Kurd to give a situational report as well as an operational report on some of the activities that the city has undertaken, and then we can move through other departments that will go ahead and report. And we do have the mayor here with us in the Emergency Operations Center. So we'll go ahead to turn the presentation over to Fire Chief John Kurd. Chief Kurd.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Evans, and good afternoon, everyone. I just want to kind of give you some of the latest information that we've been getting from the National Weather Service and some information we're getting through Palm Beach County's EOC. Currently, we do understand that we're under a tropical storm warning, a flood watch, and a tornado watch. The tornado watch in our area is effective until 5 p.m., but is expected to be extended. Currently, Hurricane Ian, which is a strong a strong hurricane, Category 4, winds at 155, sustained, which puts it at the upper tier of what is a Category 4 hurricane, borderline Category 5. That hurricane has made landfall over in the Fort Myers area and is moving northwest across the state, and is expected to continue that trajectory throughout the evening. As it relates to Riviera Beach and Palm Beach County, some of the biggest concerns we're going to continue to have is flooding rain, tornado concerns, and obviously gusty winds associated with the storm. Most of those winds will be tropical storm force strength winds, but there are a potential for gusts above those wind categories for tropical storm force winds. As it relates to my operations role here at the EOC, this morning, Riviera Beach deployed 2 strike teams. Those strike teams have been working on both the east and west side of the city, trying to ensure that the storm drains are maintained clear and free of obstruction. We've also picked up a considerable amount of debris throughout the city, but we still have a lot of work to do as it relates to that. We're going to keep crews out as long as possible, as long as conditions permit, before we pull them back in, which we expect to do here in probably the next hour or so. Currently, crews right now are clearing roadways. We have some downed trees. Just over the last hour, we've seen a significant uptick in the winds. We got some downed power lines that we're currently on calls for, and we also have some downed trees across the roadways. We are going to maintain a strike team's availability this evening so that if we do have any roadway obstructions, that team can be deployed simply to clear the roadway, but we are not going to deploy teams throughout the evening other than your public safety teams, which is police, fire, and obviously the utility district. Our intent is to bring in our teams again tomorrow morning as we evaluate what the conditions are going to be. We expect to get another briefing from the National Weather Service at 6 o'clock, which will tell us a great deal about what our plans are going to be moving forward overnight and into tomorrow. So currently we have a good handle on the operational aspect of this storm. And at this point, I'll turn it over to Mr. Blankenship from Logistics, just to give us a briefing on some of our logistical items.
Good afternoon, everyone. We've been able to provide all the necessary equipment and materials the strike teams have needed to perform their duties today, and we're well equipped to continue that operation tomorrow, and are available for materials or further needs. That's all from me.
Thank you. We'll turn it over to Finance for a financial report. Mr. Sherman.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Right now, we are tracking time We have about 30 employees who have been deployed for storm resources. We'll get their reports tonight of their activities. We'll get the information from Ms. Blankenship as far as out-of-pocket costs. And starting tomorrow, we'll start applying some dollars to the time. But right now, time is what we're tracking. That's where most of our dollars will be spent on the storm. And we should have more details tomorrow.
Just to provide an update with regards to some of the things that we also are working on. We know that the Solid Waste Authority did close down the landfill, so it is impossible for us to collect and discard any waste that was put out. So what we are encouraging all residents to do is to collect and secure their waste. We have been provided notification that the Solid Waste Authority will be open tomorrow, assuming weather conditions still continue. So that is something that we can expect regular solid waste services or trash services to commence on Thursday. For those that had a Wednesday pickup, it has not been determined when there would be another date set forth as it relates to a rescheduling. And so what most likely will occur is your second pickup date in the week, which will probably be Saturday, would be when you would just bring all your items that you would have normally discarded on Wednesday. But again, we'll put out some information with regards to that here in the next couple of minutes. But yes, anyone that has any solid waste debris, any bulk trash piles, please make sure that you recover and secure those items, as there is no solid waste service in the city of Riviera Beach today, as the Solid Waste Authority and the Waste Energy Plant is closed. And so there is no way for us to be able to discard those items, and that those items, if left unsecured, become projectiles and will obstruct stormwater drains. We're also seeing situations whereby vehicles are parked in close proximity to stormwater drains, and asking for folks to assist us as much as possible to ensure that there is no visual obstructions in some of the stormwater drains. We anticipate inclement weather to start probably at around 4:30, 5 o'clock, and then carry us into the later part of the evening. In our update from the Emergency Operations Center from Palm Beach County, there is about 60% of municipalities that are looking to open up normal operations. The county is not. The county's operations will remain closed, and other agencies are still under consideration as it relates to whether they will open up or not. We will make a determination later on the evening, and also be providing employees with a hotline to call in probably at around 8 p.m. as we will be able to provide them with more definitive information as it relates to coming in. Strike teams and emergency operations teams will be present at 7:30 in the morning, and we are also deploying another strike team to assist in the cleanup. We are asking that all residents assist us in trying to collect the vegetation, the waste that is out there, or if there's anything that you cannot handle, if you were to call us on our city lines, we can ensure that we get out there. Also encouraging people to utilize the Go Riviera app. That is an app that's available on the App Store or the Google Play Store. Download the app. It actually allows for you to put in a request through the service request system. It will give the pinpoint geolocation of the incident or issue. Type in what is occurring. You can take a photo and then submit it, and that comes directly to the emergency operations team, and we can deploy the resources to be able to assist with that. And there will be a video that will go up with that later on. Also, Palm Beach County schools are closed tomorrow, and so we are taking that into consideration when we're looking about spinning up some of our operations. We are sending out some information via our Code Red and encouraging people to sign up for our Code Red notification systems. At this time, we've also had a conversation with our solid waste provider. Our solid waste provider is transitioning, so Waste Management will no longer be the solid waste provider as of Saturday, and so we have spoken to representatives from the good company that have pledged that they will make sure that appropriate resources are deployed to assist us during the recovery period as a result of what we can anticipate. It's going to be a lot of waste and the debris that will be present in the community on Saturday. And so their first day of operation will be on Saturday, and so staff has already had conversations with them. But we can cure some of those issues, obviously, with solid waste services picking up on Thursday and Friday as scheduled, assuming weather conditions change. And so we're asking people to please continue to watch and monitor all our social media channels, our website, our news alerts, because if conditions are not appropriate, we can anticipate there being a change of direction from the Solid Waste Authority. But everything is pointing towards that facility being open and accepting waste tomorrow. At this time, I think that concludes some of the reports that we have. I do want to say real quickly that our leisure services activities, recreational activities, will remain suspended until conditions improve. And so parks and recreation facilities as well as library facilities will remain closed until most likely on Friday. I do want to give the mayor an opportunity to provide some comments as he's been here with us in the Emergency Operations Center and has seen some of the crews out there today. And then I'll turn it over to any questions that board members may have, and that will conclude our call. Mr. Mayor?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Evans. Just want to give kudos to the staff. For those of you who couldn't be here, man, it's just a pleasure to see how you'll be proud to see staff, how they work and how everything is coming together. I'm very pleased to see teams out working hard, teams that's inside. It was all team spent very well. So it just makes me proud to be the mayor. See how we're all committed to making sure our residents put our residents close to and everybody, the whole staff, still working, making sure that our city is safe and protected and giving the residents as much information. Sure, that everybody got it.
For any of our council members that may have any questions or would like to provide any remarks, if you can just raise your hand, and so then Walter can see that, and we can go ahead and activate, and you can activate your camera if you choose.
Can you hear me, Jonathan? It's Julie.
Yes, Councilperson
Okay.
Botel, we can hear you. And then after Councilperson Botel, Councilperson McCoy.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you all and thank all the workers who are out there. I really appreciate what they do, and I'm sure our citizens do as well. Just FYI, I can actually hear my building creaking, which is kind of unnerving. But it's good to know we have good people working for us, and I just wanted to say thanks. Bye-bye.
Councilperson McCoy?
Yes, Mr. Evans, thank you. I don't know what the mayor said. Apparently he's too far from the microphone. So I just heard him come on and then finish. So, but I am curious, did we get any kind of information from administration about the various roles? I think I heard Mr. Blankenship is doing logistics. Obviously, we know Mr. Sherman is associated with finance. So can you lay out your team and share it with us so we can know who's doing what? Because I even see Ms. Jenkins, and I didn't know that we had folks from the CRA until I seen them when I was there a little while ago. So I kind of want to know what everyone's role is in this incident command.
Yeah, absolutely. We can provide you with the incident command structure. Ms. Jenkins is helping with communications as well as the assembly of some of the task force that we have out in the community. But we can provide you with the command structure update and email that out to the board.
Okay. And also as a follow-up to the overall questions, Mr. Sherman mentioned he has 30 employees. That's just who's going to be a part of incident command and who's out on the strike teams? Because I see some other folks on this call. I mean, what's the expectation? Is there other individuals? I've seen someone from finance. Like, what exactly is everybody doing? What is everyone's role in this process?
From a ICS command structure, we can provide you with that information, and then based on whatever section that they're assigned to, that delineates the duties and the responsibilities, because we still have some other back of the house things that certain individuals are assisting with, whether it's the processing of the 214s, whether it's the processing of payroll or any expenses associated with tracking for the storm, or any goods or commodities or services that the city secures as it relates to that. So we can provide that to you all, so you can take a look at it.
And also, Mr. Evans and Ms. Nguyen, does the declaration of a local state of emergency allow us to go virtual meetings?
It does not. That
Okay.
wasn't contemplated. And it's a 7-day declaration unless it's extended. I don't see it being extended, but of course that depends on what happens in the next 24 hours, I guess.
And I think you probably know where I'm going to ask this. 7-day declaration under what authority, Ms. Nguyen? Because I think I read the code section. Is this something in state statute that only limits it to 7 days?
Florida Statute 252.
Okay.
7 days
All right.
unless extended.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and I certainly want to find out, because I don't know if this happened in times past, but I believe there's a provision either in our code or state code that provides that, we should be made a itemization of expenses associated with this.
I'm not aware of
I'll look at it and see if that's a requirement.
I think so.
Any other questions, Councilors?
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from any other council members? Any other questions from anyone on the call? All right. Well, with that being said, I want to thank everyone for certainly their efforts in this particular effort, and certainly we're going to be continue to working through this particular issue. And if necessary, we will provide another opportunity for a briefing with the elected officials as well as the community, and answer any questions persons may have. For any employees on the call, please look out for information on the employee line that will provide you with real-time updates as it relates to whether city services and operations will be restored. A decision concerning that will happen later on this evening, depending on weather conditions. It may be an all-out closure or a rolling closure, whereby certain operations may be up and operational and certain operations may be closed, depending on what the conditions and what the need of the agency is at the time. So again, thank you everyone for being on the call, and thank you for everyone that's out there that's responding, and to the community, thank you for your continued vigilance. When it gets dark outside, please stay inside. And if you see anything, please utilize our mobile app or call our non-emergency line at the police department, and we can make sure that we get personnel out there when safe to address those concerns. Thank you.